Michelle here with Garden Jargon, driving down downtown Batavia, heading to the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry and Clothes Closet, which is a local food pantry and clothes closet that helps supply food and clothing and supplies to families in need here in our community. And the director of this food pantry, his name is Eileen, and I started working with her 2 years ago when we started the Batavia Community Garden on Kirk Road, which we have since moved that garden to the Ginger Creek property because we needed room for expansion. So I'm heading down here today to show you what it looks like when we take food down to the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. I also got to get, again, their collection days or their distribution days, because those are the days that their community comes in and gets to pick up their food. I'm not sure if they get to walk through the pantry and kind of shop, or if they have to set up appointments. I'm not quite sure exactly how this pantry works, but they're very grateful every time we bring them produce. And that's my favorite coffee shop right there, Limestone. So I'm going down here right now. I'm bringing you along for the ride so that you can see what it looks like for when we end up taking food down here to the Interfaith Food Pantry. This is one of the 3 locations that I take food for, to take the garden and the produce to, just depending on when we're able to harvest and depending on, you know, the laborers that I have on my team, if they're able to help on certain days. But that little tan building in the center of those 2 big buildings is the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. It's down here on Flynn Street, and I'm pulling in right now. And what I do is I normally just back my truck in to this parking spot so that I can get our produce right into those red doors there where the shopping cart is. We do not have a huge abundance because I didn't have a lot of volunteers in the garden yesterday to help me harvest a bunch of food. But we do have some in the back of the truck back there, some squash, a couple tomatoes. We got our first tomatoes. So this is the pantry that's getting the first tomatoes. I think there's 2. It is July 25th, Wednesday, 2023. So sit back and enjoy the video. All right, so I usually back into this spot right here at the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. You have to be very careful of this area because bikes come flying down the bike path here. So even if you step over there, you might get run over. So I back my truck in right here, and this is where the food goes, and then we put it in a cart, and there's a scale that you push the cart right up onto, and it weighs the food, and then there's a clipboard on the refrigerator there that you can log the pounds of food that you bring in, and then they sort through it, and then they put it into their pantry. All right, so what we do is we put our produce right here in a grocery cart, and then we wheel it into the pantry. And there's a lovely scale, and then they weigh the produce and then subtract the amount of the cart. And then we write it down on our sheet over there, where Eileen is writing it on that clipboard right there. So this is the scale we put the grocery cart on, and it'll tell us the weight right here on this guy. I'll take your picture. And then, no, you don't want to know my weight. And then we put right here who we are and the poundage, and then subtract the weight of the cart. Depends on which scooter or cart they're using. So we just donated 43 pounds today on the 25th of July. And this is the food pantry here, where Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry puts all the food and supplies on the shelves in here. And this is where we bring our produce. So people are able to walk through here with a cart and shop and do their shopping and get the food that they need here in the pantry. We have a ton of communal support here, where a lot of our residents in the area bring food here, and Northern Illinois Food Bank helps supply, as well as grocery stores. Usually produce is put on this table here, and then they distribute it in different bins here with the fresh produce. In mid-season, they don't have any more room. Usually there's bins all over the floor right here because the produce just comes in here flying. The best part about the produce that we bring is they're getting it fresh off the vine within 24 hours. When you get food at the grocery store, that food has been picked weeks in advance to be able to ship in containers to the grocery stores where you go and you purchase it. So all the people that come into the pantry here are actually getting food that is way fresher than you can even buy it at Whole Foods. So that's a blessing to our community. They're so sweet in there. So I did get the list of their distribution days and when the community can come in here and shop. So I will make sure to put that on our Facebook page. But that is how we deliver to Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. I love it here because they have been doing indoor shopping with their residents and customers indoors now for 3 years. Even with COVID, they started doing it right away, as soon as they possibly could. And then they always have a line out the door. People coming in here and getting the good food. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now I've gotten Marie Wilkinson's video done and Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry, and then next will be Salvation Army, and that is in Geneva on 7th Avenue. So when we take some produce over there, which will probably be the end of the week, I will shoot a video for over there as well. So those are the 3 locations. And then an occasional Walgreens pharmacist through the window gets a zucchini or cucumber or tomato here and there when I have stuff in the car. I just love handing people, random strangers, produce out of my vehicle when they see all of it stacked in here. And it's like Christmas to them. They can't even believe it. So it's a blessing, it's a joy what we do, and I'm so grateful. It happens every time. I'm grateful to the volunteers because it's not possible without them. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.